What we do is, I should probably have left that up, right? Even though what we do is wrong, we still hustle till the sun come up. We still hustle till the sun come up. We still hustle till the sun come up. Blend the smoothie when the sun go down. It's a cold winter. Right? I don't got it. I don't got it. I don't got it. Oh man. But no, we was flowing this morning. Right? We was flowing this morning. I got up super early. Had to work out with Chase. Yeah. I had to get with Chase. And then we went live. Right? We did our thing, and then the beauty, as I was live getting it in, you know, that was another reason why I was live so early this morning. Not only because it's Black Friday, we got low sales and book release. You know it's a book release, right? Yeah, you know it. There's no way that there's a Black Friday and there's not a brand new Dr. EnQi book dropping. Right? But now also I was sneaking to get it in, like the children were asleep. You know what I mean? They got a little sugary. You know what I'm saying? They got a little sugary, so they had that drunk high sleep. They got a little sugary last night, so they was doped up. They was doped up. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to get it in while I had no distractions. And then as soon as they got up, I had to abandon ship. I had to hit the abort button. It's really another phase of my life. I need y'all support on so many levels. It's really another phase in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because now this is the teenage thing. And yeah, I haven't really had the teenage thing in a minute. I haven't really been dealing with teenagers in a minute. Chase is officially now a full-fledged teenager. And the big twins is also, they dancing into it. So I got 3 teenagers now. And it seemed like to me, I went from having 5 little ones. No. Don't you pop on my live stream. That's what I'm talking about right here. But it seemed like I went from 5 little ones to now it's 5 big ones. Just like that. I'm getting ready to bust up on my live stream. It's crazy. My name is Minister EnQi. I am the naturopathic doctor and the spokesman for the Melanin Verse Diabetes Ministry. Every time you go to the supermarket without the electrician grocery shopping list, it's like putting a loaded gun to your head. Stop playing Russian roulette with your life. Help us make America great again. Learn how to save time. Learn how to save money with the electrician grocery shopping list on Amazon now. Go to Amazon now. The life you save may be your own. Okay. Bro, it's crazy. Well, here's what happens. Here's what happens. When I do the back to back, I notice if I don't do lives and then I go live, I'll have, 30, 50, 60 people. That's in between. So here's my audience. Less than 20, it's light. 20 to 40, it's medium. If we get 50, 60 plus, we filled up. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is if I start doing back-to-back long live streams, like this morning, we did 5 hours. So right now, there's a lot of people watching that video. They're not even going to know we live because they somewhere in the middle of that other live stream. So that's what happens. And people be caught up in between the lives. You know what I'm saying? But I don't worry about it because they'll catch up. You know what I mean? They'll catch up. At some point, they'll click off that and they'll be like, "Oh man, I done missed half the live," and so they'll jump in somewhere throughout the middle of this live, and then after this live is finished, if I go live again, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the more content I do fast like that, that's why if you notice, most YouTubers, they'll give you a video once a day, or they'll give you a video like every other day or something like that. You don't really have that many platforms where they continuously going live unless they got streaming numbers that they need to catch up to. If they got streaming numbers, so people whose platforms are monetized, that's another thing. My platform is not monetized. What we do, this is not monetized. I don't get money from YouTube. I get harassed, like not harassed, but there's a lot of benefits that comes to monetization. When your channel is monetized, your channel is prioritized because you're a YouTube partner. So if your channel does well, YouTube does well, right? If you're not monetized, YouTube looks at it the other way. While people is watching me, they could be watching somebody else. So I'm a distraction to the platforms that's monetized, right? Because all of my minutes could be minutes that's counting to somebody else's channel. So they're not going to push what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's more of a reason why I constantly have to pass the hat around, right? But also the other problem is the downside, or the thing that equivocates. The thing that equivocates working in the manner that I work is with monetization comes a much higher level of scrutiny, right? A much higher level of scrutiny. So, because I want to be able to teach what I want to teach, how I want to teach it, for as long as I want to teach it, it just works better that we're not monetized. You know what I'm saying? Even though it will probably be, a few more dollars involved if we was monetized, and people keep saying, no, they changed a lot. And, they changed a lot. So you need to, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, I be more conservative with what we're doing. And then sometimes, I start pushing the envelope. Sometimes I be pushing the envelope. So I, it's sometimes it's more, it's easier, less headache, less worry, safer to build slower, build stronger, and just, mind my business, so to speak. But earlier we were doing, so not Amazon, but I was on Clubhouse, and Clubhouse, they got like an Amazon training room, but it kind of got weird once I started talking. When I was a fly on the wall and I was asking questions, I must have asked too many questions, because then it got weird. People was like, wait a minute, what's your name again? I was just in there like it was a training session for Amazon authors. And I'm just in there, like, asking questions, getting advice, like, oh, okay. Like everybody else was in there, they had some pros. And I guess, I don't know, the pros, I think they are the pros based on timing, how long they've been doing it, how successful they've been at doing it. And I know that I don't fit the mold. I don't fit the mold. And so when it was like, oh, I guess they had looked, they looking people up while they talking to people to see if they really authors or trolling or whatever the case may be. And when they pulled up my name, they like, wait a minute, how long you been writing books for Amazon? Yo, wait a minute. They're like, yo, how long you been? You must have been, how long what you been, 5, 10 years? So at that point, I knew I had said a little bit too much. I needed to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? But they gave me a lot of really good tips, a lot of really good information. Because when you start looking and be like, oh, who got 70 books? Who got 70 books in a year and a half? That boy got 70 books in a year and a half. 70 books, you must have been writing for Amazon forever. They must have you chained up in a basement. You must have been with Amazon for 10 years. You got 70 books up there. What do you? So I couldn't even answer and be like, no, just over a year. Like that, it wouldn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? People like, hey, that don't make. But then I had to explain to them, okay, well, it takes the average person 6 to 12 months to write a book, because the average person, they got 9 to 5, they got a relationship they in, and their relationship, they 9 to 5, they pastimes, they hobbies, all of those things take up time. So on the average, they're only spending, 1 to 3 hours a day. And these are professional writers. They spend 1 to 3 hours a day, 5 days a week writing. So that's, 5 hours, 10 hours a week, 40 hours a month they doing. So 40 hours a month times 12 months, or, between, give or take, they're spending 300 to 400 hours, maybe tops, writing the book. I could spend 300 to 400 hours in a couple of weeks, because I'm going to lock into it. You got 24 hours in a day. You got almost 200 hours a week. What you doing with it? You know what I'm saying? You got 900 hours, in a month. So if it takes you 400 hours and you spreading that 400 hours out over 12 months, that's technically not reflective of me. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I got 15 years worth of material that's already written that I just need to put into book format, sitting around. So not only am I going to attack you know what I'm saying, attack the time. But, I got a head start, you know what I'm saying? So instead of explaining all that, I'm just like, thank you guys for the advice. Let me get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but one of the things they were saying to do was to do like virtual book signings where you kind of read, you read the book online. So we was trying that out this morning. I was like, you know what? It's Black Friday. I want to focus on the cholesterol challenge for December and January, because December and January is like the most dangerous times of the year for cholesterol, for all things related to cholesterol, right? And some of that is energy dropping, right? Some of that is energy dropping, right? Because we have less of a turnover. We have less of a turnover in with our cholesterol. So in fact, we're gonna we kind of went through these two books. I was trying to do 3 this morning, right? So we started off with the fertility and conception book, right? Let There Be Music. Then, as we should, we jumped right into the fibroids book, which kind of doubles down and goes into a totally different direction. So we got into those. And I wanted to get into the autism book. So we will get into the autism book, right? We'll get into the autism book. But when we jump into, matter of fact, let me open up the autism book. Did I save this? Okay, yep, I sure did. Okay. Here we go. What's this? All right. Okay, so when we jump into the autism book, right, so we're going to peek in this book. We're going to do some reading from here, but what I want to do is, now mind you, we only got to go through like 5 or 10 pages of the books this morning, so it wasn't. It was very informative. I thought we got some really good feedback, but it wasn't like we went through the whole books. Still a lot more in the book. But I'm gonna get him. Where is? I'm looking for something specific. I can never find what I'm looking for in all these books. I had too many books. Hold on. Okay, maybe it's up here somewhere. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, is that? Why it look like that? Oh, because we had stretched it out so we could make it bigger, right? That's what we did. All right, so all right. So here's one of the things I want to work on over the next 2 months. This is one of the things I want to work on over the next 2 months, right? The conversion rate of cholesterol should match the activity of melanin in the skin. These two systems are designed to stay and be coupled. A dark-skinned person with low sunlight intake and low exercise is going to die from metabolic complication. I should have put in there like parentheses if something else doesn't kill him first. Right? But this is a real thing. This is a real thing. Right? This is a real thing. And nobody's exempt from this. Now, everybody has different pigment levels. So everybody has a different danger zone with this guy, with cholesterol. Right? So we want to work on that. We got a nice little cheat code, a blueprint, all of the above. I haven't been exercising. Well, when I say I haven't been exercising, right? That's not exactly true. Right? So some people haven't been exercising. That means they haven't been moving around at all. I haven't been exercising, but I still get my steps in daily. Right? So I still get 5,000 to 10,000 steps in a day, minimum. Right? And some days I'll get my 10,000 steps in, and then I'll still, get a couple of miles on the bike. So I still get, I'm still, getting more than what the minimum or the average person even some, like people that exercise, right? Because they exercise, they hit the gym, but because they're focused on muscle mass, they don't really move around that much. They're trying to get all the muscle they can get. So I get a lot of steps in. What I'm finding is there is some correlations. I gotta flesh it out, and I gotta find some documentation to substantiate some stuff. But what I'm finding is even for the spleen and the kidney, your movement is highly important. So I get my movement in, but this This right here is the wintertime cheat code. I'm telling you, get that blue magic, right? Get that blue magic, put you a little half a spoon to a spoon in a cup, and get you some good green tea. Get you some good green tea, and don't get decaffeinated. Right? Get whatever amount of caffeine that nature was giving you. Whatever natural amount of caffeine nature was giving you inside your green tea, get that. Take that. Right? Get that. What else? Get the matcha. The matcha. Is it matcha or matcha? Matcha. I think it's matcha. That's probably more correct. Right? The matcha green tea. Right? And if you can get organic, get organic. So that's the levels with the green tea. This green tea, that's just green tea. Right? Just good old green tea. Right? Then there's organic green tea. Right? That's the next level up. And then there's the matcha green tea, which is a specific type of green tea. Usually when you get green tea, they selling you trash. They selling you the Reggie. Now, it's trash. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I have green tea also, right? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? Right now, I'm drinking regular. Well, not regular. I got high quality regular right now. Right now, I got high quality regular. Right? I don't know if you can see that. In the corner over here, the little circle, say organic. So that's high quality regular. But anytime it just says green tea, that means you got regular, right? If it's organic, then you got high quality regular, right? So I got me some high quality regular right now, right? But get into the matcha tea, MATCHA, right? MATCHA. The matcha tea is like, that's another level up. Even the regular matcha is better than organic green, even though it is a green tea, but it is a specific type of green tea, right? It's a specific type of green tea, which is good. And then you can get the organic matcha, which is another level up. And then you can start really getting into like the different Japanese green teas, right? You can get you some, I got my immortality tea over here on the side. But it's expensive, so I don't be trying to blow through it. Plus, it's annoying. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just eat it. I'd rather just eat it because otherwise, I got to put it in the little strainer thing and strain it out. Or I got one of those little balls where you put the tea inside it. I got the little chain. So I'll be doing that, but I find I get way more benefit if I just eat me a handful as opposed to soaking it in the water for a little bit and throwing it out. So, but that's another type of green tea. You know what I'm saying? Uva Ursi. Uva Ursi is cool. Uva Ursi is inside the detox kit. So Uva Ursi is dope. It's inside the detox. It's one of the herbs we use all the time. But you got to be careful with that. Too much Uva Ursi can hurt you. You got to be careful with that. So there's a lot of herbs that's really good that should not be used alone. Yeah. You can't stop yourself. What you talking about? Max trolling. Max, you trolling. What do you mean you shouldn't? You can't stop yourself from having lucid dreams. What that mean? That mean you good. You need to focus on if you have a lot of lucid dreams, or if you lucid dream every night, right? That's a good thing. What you need to focus on now is concentrating on how to control the dream, right? So what you need to do is spend time trying to be awake in your dream. Spend some time on that. You know what I'm saying? Spend some time on that. And you'll be good. You'll enjoy them. I'll be awake in my dreams. Right? So I forgot. There's a series of books that I used when I was like I was bugging. I ain't gonna say I was bugging because I learned a lot during the time period, but I was like spending more time sleeping, trying to figure out the dream. Like I was deep into. I'm gonna put those out because I got a whole series of stuff that I did. This is what I'm saying with the speed of putting out books. I got probably like 10 books, maybe more, on dream stuff. And I haven't even started to go into that bag yet. You know what I'm saying? I haven't even started to go into that bag yet. But we are kind of going in that direction, though, to be honest. Actually, I can't even lie and say I haven't started to go in that bag yet. Because I did. And I put a book out, and the book was kind of out of place. So people didn't really know what to do with this book right here. Right? People didn't know what to do with this book. If P, then Q. In fact, if we get some time today, we may have to open this book up. Because this book is kind of sick. Right? This book is kind of sick. Yeah, we may have to go into this. Because this, and in fact, I'm going to hold this out because I'm going to remind myself we need to go into this book. But this is the beginning of that. This is the beginning of that. I didn't turn the corner yet and start like talking about dreams or anything in this book, because there's a lot of stuff that you need to get before that. So actually, this video right here might be the precursor, and we having this conversation. Things happen for a reason, right? Because there's brain stuff we need to get before we get around the corner to the actual dreaming space. Yeah, because we kind of need to understand one of the link between the daytime and the nighttime. And so that's, yeah. So even like when I'm talking about the Bible, right? I'm limited to what I could say because some of the stuff that we need to discuss, I haven't really discussed it yet. So like yesterday, I'm just opening up the door in terms of the days of creation with the observer effect. Right? So we just opening that door. God thought it, then he saw it. God thought it, then he saw it. God thought it, then he saw it. Right? So that's part of opening up the door, but separating the day from the night, I know it's people that was like, yo, this is not only is this crazy, but this is heretical. He's talking about when God said he made the lesser light and the greater light, he was talking about rods and cones, pigments. Like what it, it's all right. It for some people it'll soak in. It's not for everybody. It's okay. Sometimes it take a little time, Now some of y'all been hearing me say that for a while, so it's already soaked in. You're like, nah, we good, ain't. But some people is new to it's gonna take them some time, right? But there's also more to that, right? Because there's a different brain function in the daytime than at the nighttime. There's a different brain function in the daytime than at the nighttime. And the thing is, there's more brain function at the nighttime than it is in the daytime. There's more brain function going on at the nighttime than the daytime. Because in the nighttime, your body shut down. So because your body shut down, your brain is literally, your brain got all the juice. All the juice. I mean, your body requires a minimum of energy, to run heartbeat, breathing, and stuff like that, like basics. But for the most part, your physical body's incapacitated. You know what I'm saying? And it's all brain, it's all cerebral. Now, for the people that I listen, I feel for people. I really do. I couldn't imagine what it is to live in this world and not be able to dream. That's wild, but yeah, I dream all the time. When I was little, it just used to be nightmares. It used to be nightmares. But, over time, that's what pushed me to try to learn how to figure out my dreams and stuff like that. And then there was a lot of corny stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of time wasting and money wasting, a lot of corny stuff, a lot of, oh, if you dream about fish, that means someone's pregnant. If you, like stuff like that. So I realized, my moms and them, they meant well, but they didn't really know what they was talking about. They'd get a little $5 dream book somewhere. If you dream you falling out a window, that means you got good, just crazy stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But some people, dreams is a lot more intense. Some people, their dreams is a lot more intense because there's levels to it. There's levels to dreaming, but a large part of dreaming is organizing the information that you gather throughout the day. Organizing the information you gather throughout the day. Resetting your immune system. Like before we get into like the dream stuff and all that, just the base, like other stuff, and those things are going to play a role in it. How, there's people that aren't healthy enough to have lucid dreams and they don't know it, but that could be a sign that you're deficient in a lot of different things. Because if you don't have good glutathione levels, you're not going to have lucid dreaming. Yeah, so if you don't have lucid dreaming, your glutathione levels is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. REM sleep is a part of recycling glutathione. So that if your aorta, right, the Y-septor, if the aorta is not right, let's look at, just before we go into this book, let's just look at the aorta real quick. I want to look at the aorta again real quick. Let's just find us a quick little googly, because I want y'all to see how the aorta, like there's so many different things that goes on with the average person's aorta. Like you ever heard somebody say, have good posture because good posture is good health, right? You want to have good posture because it's good health. Well, the good posture, good health thing is about your aorta. The good posture, good health thing is about your aorta more than it's about the spine. Your spine has muscles and like rubber band type of muscles and all that to pull it into place. To like your spine has a lot of help. Even if you get bad posture, it won't take you that long to fix it. Right? It won't take you that long to fix it if you put some effort to it. But your aorta, yeah, it's going to take you a lot longer. Right? So let's look at the aorta. I don't even know what to type in, honestly. Oh, here's one. Look at that. I ain't even had to type nothing in. Look at this. People walking around with these and don't even know it. Yeah, people walking around with them swollen pot belly aortas. They don't even know it. Your aorta is supposed to look like this. People aorta look like this. Like, it's crazy. And that's in multiple places sometimes. Sometimes your aorta look fat and nasty like that in multiple places. And then this ain't even showing like people who aorta is scarred up. Let me see. Let's see if we can pull up some. Look at this. Look at this here. Man, look at this here. That's what I'm saying. Yo, people joint be crazy. Your aorta be looking crazy in there. People aortas be in there looking crazy. Look at this. This is crazy. This all scar tissue. Look at this. Look at all these marks right here. All these is like scars, right? All these are scars. And then this right here is the pot belly joint, right? And they did a surgery on it. You can see they put the sleeve on it. They done cut it down, stitched him back up, put the sleeve on it. But look, all these, look at all this. These is probably all calcium deposits. Yeah. You ain't Gucci even after the surgery, because first of all, now that you didn't cut this and stitched it back open, this is always going to be a weak spot forever. It's going to be weak forever. That's why they put the sleeve on it to give it some extra strength, you know. But look at all these calcium. Nah, bro. People aorta look crazy. Look at this joint. I know blood clot this. Look at this. See, this is what I'm talking about. You got people like Reggie. They ain't never looked inside of a body before. Yo, they ain't never looked inside a body before. They getting ready to tell you what it is and what it ain't. I'm like, bro, y'all better stop playing, man. This is why we're in trouble. Right? Look at this. Will you look at this? Will you look at this? This is crazy. Right? This is crazy. And so now think about this. Look at this picture right here. Look at this. Your heart, right? Your heart is hooked up right here. But then when you come down, look at this. What's these big beans right here? What's these big beans right here? Yeah. See, they ain't telling you about this. Ain't nobody mentioning this but Dr. EnQi. Why? Because that right there is effing up the bag. That right there is effing up the bag. Whose bag is that effing up? That's effing up the knife and pill folks. The knife and pill folks. They don't want you to know about that. They want to tell you about heart health and be like, well, you know, the heart, this and that, and the heart health and blah, 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 blah. And then we talk about kidney health. Well, the kidneys, you know, the kidneys is this and that and da, 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 da. How are you talking about heart health and kidney health and you missed the thing that they both connected onto? How is that even possible for all these years? Right? How is all these years goes by? You talk about the heart, they talk about the kidney, especially black folks. You know, we get the worst end of it. So if we at the worst end of heart health and we at the worst end of kidney health, well, let's try it. Come on now, let's see how it goes. Now, this is 1, 2, okay, right? Uno, dos, or un, deux, right? Or what did Chase tell us yesterday with the Chinese? San. What was that? San. So right? Plus Wait, plus is whatever this is in Chinese. 2 plus 2 is 4. Right? Clearly, if we have something going on with the heart at a higher rate than everybody else, we have something going on with the kidneys at a higher rate than everybody else, it stands to reason that something is up with the thing that is literally connects the heart, like literally the kidneys, the next stop. If that was a subway station, look at this. If this is a subway station, when you get on the train at the heart, I don't know if you ever rode the train in New York. When you get on the train, boom, boom. That's the sound the doors make when the door, boom, boom. Next stop, kidneys. Boom, boom. So, I'm just saying, it's crazy. I don't know how we haven't had like no conversations. And when I say that, I'm talking about everybody. Now, I know what's going on with the holistic healers. It don't matter what my views is. It don't matter if they stand next to celebrities, superstars, or whatever. I know that I am the brain of the holistic community. I control it. So once I start discussing it, it'll get out there. You'll see. Next few months, few weeks, whatever. We didn't give them some time. So folks should, it should be popping up on different platforms and pages sooner or later. Like, oh yeah, well, the aorta. And then they're gonna be like, I got the herbs right here for the I got the Dr. Sabi herbs for the aorta. Like, we done listened to Dr. Sabi for 60 years. We ain't never heard him say the word aorta one time. Anyway, the Nazarene in me is saying, get back to the book. Stop. Okay, so it's time to get back to the books. Right? Translation, that means the Christian, just in case y'all don't know. But the Nazarenes is a different type of Christians. Right? So anyway, with the cholesterol, right? The conversion rate of cholesterol needs to match the activity of melanin in the skin. These two systems are designed to be and stay coupled. A dark-skinned person with low sunlight intake and low exercise is going to die from a metabolic complication, right? The only time animal flesh is safe to be consumed by a eumelanin dominant person is in times of starvation or extremely high activity. So go ahead and jump on my case, because I said exactly what you thought I was saying. Go ahead and get on my case. It's like, EnQi, we can't believe you. We was confused when we read it in the book, but are you actually saying that it's okay for Black people to eat meat? Some of them, sure. Some, a very small percentage. A very small percentage, right? That John Q. public does not fit into. So 99% of the people, absolutely not. Do not reach for the burger. Okay. Do not reach for a turkey sandwich. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Okay. But I speak to a wide audience. And so there are some people that could use, that it's not going to kill them. It's not going to kill them. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a situation where you're burning 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 calories in a day, you might need something. You might need something else. You might need something else. Salad might not be, salad and beans you might need a little bit more. Right? You might need a little bit more. So there are some instances. He is. He is. It's all right. Listen, I know how that thing working over there. His baby mom's watches the channel all the time. She's watching. So that's how that works. His baby mom watches the channel and she see, oh, wait, you don't know about this yet. You got to look at this. Look at this right here. All right, you need to start talking about this. Listen, it's not just the holistic guys, though. It's everybody. If I start going back to clips of the Hebrew Israelites, I single-handedly changed the entire Hebrew Israelite community. Single-handedly. Somebody sent me a clip the other day of Captain Tazariak. He was having a debate, and they sent me the clip, and they was like, yo, look at your son. They was like, look at your son. But you had to be around for a long time to remember, right? This is when we was doing the Brother Polite thing. You know what I'm saying? I was in my Ghost Rider. I was in coach mode. You know what I'm saying? I pop out every so often. You know what I'm saying? But I was in coach mode. And the number one complaint for Dr. EnQi was that I was too animated. I laughed too much. I make too much jokes. Right? I was too flashy. I used to wear the hat with the crown on it and all that. And the number one thing I used to do is make fun of the Israelites for how they was dressing and all this and all that. And now I look at Tazariak. He got the crown. I said, look at this dude here. He making jokes throughout his debate. I said, man, it's funny. It is funny. But listen, it's a beautiful thing. I'm happy. I'm happy to be able to influence folks. I'm happy to be able to influence the culture. Yeah, I just, I'm happy. I'm that is no other words. Because I was watching that and I was cracking up. I was like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. So sometimes it takes tragedy to change the way you see the world. Sometimes you need a moment to just sit back and look at things. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is crazy. Over the years, you know what I'm saying? Over the years, we really did some, the butterfly effect is crazy. The butterfly effect is crazy because you can influence people without them even knowing. Just because your presence is so heavy. You know what I'm saying? Even like when I was looking at the sister, Coach Jessie. Even when I was looking at Coach Jessie, she met the brothers from ATL. They got rid of her fibroids. And now she doing her thing, traveling all over the world. She getting rid of fibroids. I don't know Coach Jessie. You know what I'm saying? I don't know Coach Jessie. Me and her might walk right past each other in the supermarket. Right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know Coach Jessie, and I definitely don't know any of the people that she's touched because now she's him. Obviously she's a woman, but I'm saying like, the saying, I'm him. Like she's the man right now. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm sure that she's developing a whole bunch of young women that's influenced by her. And they're like, yo, I want to study this. I want to learn how to go out and do my thing and heal folks and help people that, is in a situation like I was in. And so there's people that I don't even know, that they don't even know Amun and Amsu, right? Amun and Amsu taught Coach Jesse. So she's going to be out influencing people that won't know them. So they definitely won't know me. They won't even know them, but they're going to be out and they're going to be affecting people. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so on. And the legend continues. You know what I'm saying? So, what can you do? What can you do? You just got to stay in your bag. Stay in your bag and keep working. Like Biggie said, when the shootout, stay low and keep firing. You know what I'm saying? Keep extra clips for extra. You know what I'm saying? Stay low and keep firing. So that's what I do. Right now, we got a brand new book dropping. We got a brand new book dropping today. 0 games being played. We got a brand new book dropping today. Stay low and keep firing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we can do. Yeah. That's at the end of the day. At the end of the day. And I used to feel a way about that. But I looked at Sabi, right? I looked at Sabi and I realized, thinking about Sabi, right? It's a blessing that even though his kids and a lot of the hangers-ons, and they don't really take it serious because they could use their name as a face card to make a few dollars. That in and of itself is still a blessing that he was able to create a space for his kids to even be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think about it in that way. That's why, if you notice, all my books is co-authored by me and one or more of my children. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when I'm gone, you got 20 books, 50 books, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But you have something that's bigger than a dollar amount. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't spend books. Can't spend books. You can't mess that legacy up. If you leave your kids $1 million or even $100 million, they could run through that money possibly. They can make some bad investments and wake up one day, that money gone. You can't spend books. Period. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be intelligent about how you utilize the library you have. You know what I'm saying? But you can't spend books. You know what I'm saying? So we got to create those money grab lanes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the things that I thought about, like oil and just all of these different big dollar ticket. The people that really get rich in these businesses, they don't invest into them. They owed money. And the people that really started them didn't put no money in. So the families that own a lot of the oil stuff, they didn't put no money in. They was gangsters. You know what I'm saying? They put some energy and some blood and sweat into it. And they got oil money. You know what I'm saying? Blood and sweat went into it. Time went into it, but money didn't go into it. When you want to be Johnny come later, then you got to put money into it. Because time is money. Money is time. You know what I'm saying? So for us though, right? For us though, especially some of y'all that's like, I'm sure you may not have all of the books, but you got 20, 30, 40, 50, you got most of the books and you studying, if you're not already actively somewhere helping folks, you just may not realize how much you know. You may not realize how much you know. So you are a walking opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You've turned yourself through study. You know what I'm saying? You've turned yourself into a resource for your family, your friends, your community. Yeah. So you just, you're a walking resource right now. The facts. Just because you know so much. You know what I'm saying? And you got to start pouring out. You got to start pouring out more. You have to collect. You got to collect. That's what Jesus was talking about in the Bible. He was like, you got to be fishers of men. Right? It's not about, sometimes being selfless is about being selfish. Right? Sometimes being selfless is about being selfish. Sometimes you help somebody to help yourself. Right? You're learning so much, right, that you got to start pouring some of that out because your cup too full. So you got to start filling up some folks around you just so you can empty your vessel, so you can study more and get back into the books and get deeper. You know what I'm saying? So you got to start to collect, you got to start to collect your students. You got to start sharing this information with folks. And that's another thing about the books. Before you can get people to buy these books, because I know you've probably been trying to, right? And I'm talking to everybody, right? Because once you get 5 or 10 of these, you're going to be charged up. You're going to be like, yo, this is crazy. You don't know about. You're not going to be able to get them to buy no books until you sit down with them and read with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to read with them out of your book. Like if you see the pastor in front of church, the pastor in front of church always has the Bible there. When you see the imam inside the mosque, he always has the Quran there, right? He can't tell you when he don't never have the book around that he got the books at the house. You need to, I'm telling you, this book is crazy. Listen, you got to go get you one of these. They like, what? Well, I got mine at the house, but let me tell you what's in. Like, no. If you work out with folks, you got to take you a book to work out when y'all working out, before, after. You got to go through the book and show them, like, you got to read with them. You know what I'm saying? If you smoke, hopefully this is the year that you decide to quit. This New Year's, hopefully this is your resolution to quit. But if you smoke, smoking is a great opportunity. Don't get high and watch YouTube clips. You know what I'm saying? Like, pull out these books, right? If you drink, hopefully this is the New Year's that you decide to quit. But if you drink, don't get drunk and turn on Kevin Hart. You know what I'm saying? Start the drinking and then pull out these books. You know what I'm saying? Pull out the books. If you play cards, y'all do spades or whatever, there's times when you're waiting to get back on the spades table. You need to have your book with you so you can be dropping jewels on folks while you're not playing. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, you need to have the pocketbook. Listen, it's literally named the pocketbook. You need to have the pocketbook with you. See that? Soulcraft pocketbook. You need to have the pocketbook with you at the hair salon or wherever. And read you got to show people, look, there's never going to be enough time for you to read the whole book to them. But whatever makes you passionate about the book, whatever part about the book you like or you didn't know and it was exciting for you, or you had a mindgasm, right? That's the part you tell your people about. And they're going to be like, what? Oh, yeah, where you got that at? Amazon. What? I'm about to order that right now. Boop. And that's it. They're going to order it, and they probably ain't going to know what the hell I'm talking about in the book. So once they get the book, they're going to have to call you up. Or next door, they're going to wait till next time they see you at the salon or the library or wherever that place is, the gym or wherever, and they're going to ask you questions. And now you got to pour out, right? You got to bend that head over, right? And pour out some information into them. And that's the godly act. That is the number one godly act. Forget about everything else that you've ever heard about or read about in any scripture of any type, on any pyramid wall, anywhere, anything. The most godly thing that you could do on this earth is share your experience, share your wisdom, share your knowledge with another human. That's literally all wrapped up into the act of taking clay, blowing your breath into the clay, into the nostrils of the clay, right? That's what that is. God poured his soul. God poured his soul out into you and made you come alive. And then, now it's a chain reaction. Now we're supposed to be on autopilot doing that for each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's the most godly thing that we can do. Period. Above anything else. That's the highest form of charity. That's the highest form of philanthropy. That's the highest form of love. Fellas, ladies love that. Ladies love that. Just telling you. Cheat code. Way more men will be able to please her below the waist than they will above the chin. Way more men will be able to please a woman below the waist than they will above the chin. So that'll separate you. And then if you could please her below the waist and above the chin, it's over. Yeah, it's over. She'll never forget you. I got an interview. I got a bunch of interviews with a lot of old school rappers. I got to put them back up. No, you got to take the risk of being crazy. That's the whole thing. If somebody start calling you crazy, then that means you on the right track. Yeah, that just lets you know you're on the right track because you're telling them something they never heard before. So those are the best people. The people that call you crazy, when they leave you and they go try to check that out, because they're gonna check that out. When you tell them something that you serious, like if you joking is one thing, but if you tell them something serious and they really believe that you crazy, they getting ready to go check that out. They either getting ready to go research that, or they getting ready to tell other people that also know you that what just happened. So whether they go check out what you told them with other people, or they go check that out on the internet, when they find out that they was the one that was crazy and not you, you got one. You got one. They're going to be on you after that. Like, yo, how you found that out? Where you get that from? And then well, look, I got to come over to the house. I got this book right here. As a matter of fact, when you coming back to the library, when you coming back to the salon, when you coming back to the gym, I'll show you. I got these books. I got these books. Yeah, you don't send them to the YouTube. I got these books. Yeah, I got these books. I'm gonna show you. These books is crazy. Let me show you these books. If you think that's crazy, the book's even crazier. The author is even crazier than the book. So I don't even want to show you the author just yet. yeah. Nah, but we got to get to work. Let's get to work. Right? A whole hour went by. We ain't done no work yet. Right? All right. So we got the laws of metabolism, and these laws are developing, right? These are works in progress. So if you notice, right, if you're going through the books, you'll know that we started off with one. We started off with one, and the one grew, and then there was two, and then there was four, and then there was 6 and 8, and so that's grown. Also, the technology list has grown, right? The technology list has grown, right? Excuse me. The technology list has grown, right? So, in the books, we include a breakdown of your anatomy to the best of our ability in terms of electronics, right? In terms of electronics, so that you have a whole breakdown that you're able to look at the anatomy, and basically you have another blueprint to pull from, right? You have another blueprint to pull from. So, I don't know, any given situation, you might be trying to look up something about, I don't know, the spine or cells or just any part of the body, and check it out. Go into whatever textbooks you got, our books, whatever, Google, whatever. But you also have another index. You have another index to be able to look at the body as electronic equipment, right? So if you want to get an idea of how something should work in an electronic way, the electricity, the light, the magnetism, right? Because that didn't exist for me. Even with, Sabi was cool in terms of, what he did with the food and stuff like that. But Sabi really didn't get into anatomy at all, right? Especially not no electronic stuff. But Dr. Becker, Robert Becker, still GOAT level. Still GOAT level. Still GOAT level. He's got some other books that I don't think he really wrote that are floating around. I wasted my money on there's some terrible stuff floating around with his name on it. But the body electric and cross currents, GOAT level. GOAT level. Those books are crazy. Those books are crazy. So if you was to get the body electric or cross currents, and then you was to have, like, say for instance, man, you could get any one of, well, I would say the most up to date. Like if you was to have the body electric and cross currents, and you was to read that book, but you got, say for instance, the They Not Like Us book, right? You got the They Not Like Us book or the Electrician Prayer Manual book. If you got one of them books and you like, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy. And that's what I be doing sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I be going back through some of my older books. Or I buy like a new copy and I'll read it in light of, where we at now, what we know now. Because every 24 months, if you read a book, it's brand new to you. Every 24 months. If you constantly are learning stuff and you live in life, like you got a real life, you got kids, job, whatever, and you're studying, every 18 to 24 months, a book is brand new. If you go back and read it, it's going to look like it's brand, because the stuff you see in it, it's going to be like, how come I didn't see this before? It was there, but your mind wasn't there. You don't see with your eyes, and you don't hear with your ears. You see and you hear with your mind. So as your mind grows, what you see, you get to see more. So when you go back and you read these joints, you be like, oh, that's crazy right there. How didn't I know this? How didn't I recognize, you know what I'm saying? Like, so anyway, yeah. All right, so let's start off. We in the autism book. Let's get our let's pick up where we left off earlier. So I don't know if y'all all know, but earlier we was live for 5 hours already. So you might have missed that 5-hour live this morning. We was rocking and rolling. Right? Okay. The biochemistry of socializing. Oh, that's crazy. Yo, that's crazy because we kind of was just talking about this. See, that's how God worked right there. Right? Mirror waves and mu waves and mirror neurons. Right? The biochemistry of socializing. Jeremiah chapter 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Savages steal, mortals copy, but only gods create. This is the problem in autistic people. The biggest problem is autism has a zillion different gradients. I determined many years ago that we have a friend problem. The more exceptional you are with any skill, the more risk you have with people that want to mirror you. I have had problems with this all my life. You people have watched me battle this in front of your eyes. There are people who have mirror neurons that are very dysfunctional, right? Underactive and overactive. Now let me stop reading for a second here. This might be one of those moments. So if you never heard me talk about mirror neurons and you're not somebody that has autism or has a child with autism, you might think that I'm making up mirror neurons. But mirror neurons are a real thing, and they're very important in human development, right? Very important in human development. But they're not the full story, right? They're not the full story. So one of the things that piqued my curiosity, which wound up in me decades later being the person to figure out, like, hold on, there's some other thing going on. Like there's another thing, right? But they had this study that they did, and it was like the 100 monkey syndrome, right? The 100 monkey syndrome. Yo, my dog is going crazy. Hold on for a second.
The gods have blessed us. We must act now. We must act now to save us, to save our souls.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, get on it then. What y'all doing? Sitting there watching me. 100 monkey. So they had this 100 monkey thing where they was trying to figure out, like, how is it that one monkey learned something and then all of a sudden the whole population of monkeys just know it, right? And then they was talking about humans. Obviously humans got the same thing because, like, there was a running speed and no humans could break a certain speed. Then once one person did it, everybody could do it. Like, and that's kind of how it is with everything. We just need one person to demonstrate it, and then something clicks, and then all of a sudden it's unlocked that we could do it. So there's like mental blocks that, you know, and so anyway, long story short, that kind of kickstarted the passion around the study of mirror neurons. And mirror neurons affect the whole entire brain. That's how we see something, and then all of a sudden, poof, it's unlocked. Now, the beautiful thing is you don't even have to see something. All you have to do is study it. All you have to do is envision it, right? Now, that gets dangerous when you understand that people can project stuff into your mind. It gets dangerous then. You realize people can project stuff into your mind, and that's what's going on with all these radio antennas and all this other stuff going on. But yeah, mirror neurons is a real thing. So there are many people that have underactive or overactive mirror neurons. Many people have asked themselves, okay, wait. Yeah, many people have asked themselves why, crying themselves to sleep, rotting in the jail cell, or dying in a pool of blood when you see that familiar face backstabbing them or robbing them. Okay, hold on. I talk too much. Let me rewind that back for you. The more exceptional you are with any skill, the more risk you have with people that want to mirror you. I've had problems with this all my life. You people have watched me battle with this in front of your eyes. Now, I know for a fact, a lot of you have battled with this, right, in your personal life. There are people who have mirror neurons that are very dysfunctional. There are many people that have asked themselves why, crying themselves to sleep, rotting in a jail cell, or dying in a pool of blood when you see that familiar face backstabbing or robbing them. Dysfunctional mirror neurons, in my research, lead a person to love so much. Love your skill set so much. Love what you have or do so much that people will kill you to be you, to walk like you do, to talk like you do, to sing like you do, to write like you do. Even more dangerous, they see you doing your thing and they see how people respond to you. They want people to respond to them that way. This is deeply embedded in human culture, so much so, the Bible leads with the story of jealousy. Jealousy is a driving factor of human development in the Bible. I am telling you, I figured this thing out a long time ago. I get scared when I see it. I run away in advance. Ladies. How y'all say sorry and then go right back to it? Yo, what's up with these children? Yo, these children is wild. What was I saying? Jealousy is a driving factor of human development in the Bible. I'm telling you, I figured this thing out a long time ago. I get scared when I see it. I run away in advance. I know when people see the God reflection in me, I don't allow myself to be alone with them. I don't play, party, or live around them. The story of Cain's murder of Abel and its consequences is told in Genesis chapter 4, verses 1 through 18. Now the man knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I have produced a man with the help of the Lord. Next, she bore his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a tiller of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground. And Abel, for his part, brought of the firstlings of his flock, their fat portions. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering. But for Cain and his offering, he had no regard. So Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. The Lord said to Cain, "Why are you so angry? And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is lurking at your door. Its desire is for you, but you must master it." Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let us go out to the field." And when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" He said, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" And the Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground." Wait a minute. Sidebar. I just want y'all to know that the whole what was that movie? That was a whole Bible story. So think about how much money that movie generated, right? With Wesley Snipes. You know what I'm talking about. Am I my brother's keeper? That whole movie was a Bible play set in the neighborhood. Anyway, blah 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 blah. What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground, and now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it will no longer yield to you its strength. You will be a fugitive and a wanderer on this earth. Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is greater than I could bear. Today you have driven me away from the soil, and I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and anyone who meets me may kill me." Then the Lord said to him, "Not so. Whoever kills Cain will suffer a sevenfold vengeance." And the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who came upon him would kill him. Then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. And he built a city and named it Enoch after his son Enoch. Book of Genesis, chapter 4, 1 through 18. The Hebrew verb "knew" implies intimate or sexual knowledge along with possession. The name Cain, which means smith, resembles the verb translated as gotten, but also possibly meaning to make. All right, so we got it. We can skip down some of this here, right? We can skip down some of that. But y'all get it, right? The Bible opens up with a story about jealousy. Mirror neurons are beyond slept on. This is occult biochemistry. I am telling this is a part of the system of great wickedness or godliness. Violent crime is out of anger, poverty, and mirror neurons. People will lust after your God-given ability so long they will begin to think what's yours is theirs. They will be willing to kidnap, maim, and kill to prove it too. I was taught this in a very savage, unsophisticated way as a youth. My OGs taught me how to move. Why do you think there's so much killing in rap? The beefs don't pan out. People say they are petty. No. It is because there are prophets among mortals and savages. We are not supposed to be divided up by color. However, the savages, mortals, and gods, right? That's another thing. I know you weren't expecting any of this kind of talking in an autism book. We have to discuss this, though. You see, there have been many studies done that show science and math geniuses have a higher risk of having autistic children. FYI, these people fit my definition of gods in comparison of savages and mortals. Everyone doesn't know what it is to be a natural leader, especially not out of fear, violence, or resource management. Leading because you are a natural resource of information, a reservoir of light. That is being a natural leader, which is now and has always been the most dangerous thing to be. You can't not be you. So you need to recognize the difference between people that love to see you be you versus the people that love seeing you so they can drink your light. There is a hyper-driven weeding out process going on. People are creating followings for a living. The largest followings translate as the most influence, the most money. You need to know what to pass up. You need to know when to let the cars behind you that want to speed go ahead of you. My father taught me this on the Deegan Highway. We would be doing 70 to 90 miles an hour in the 55. We would be chilling though. Radar popping, music, windows down, regular, steady, stable. There will always be someone making crazy turns, swerving, just needing to fly without regard to everyone else on the highway. We will always get out of their way, slow down like immediately. These guys will get behind you if they see you driving in a nice car, especially if you're driving at a nice pace. They will get right behind you to follow your moves. Nah, my dad taught me to get out of their way. They will kill you to go nowhere. They will rush you, pressure you, drive you to your death. Get out of their way and watch in silence. Let them speed ahead. You will always see them in an accident later on or pulled over on the side of the road. This, he told me, was the true jewel in the tortoise versus the hare. You see, your pace, your speed, your rhythm is yours alone. The mirror neuron system is very important. It's how we monkey see, monkey do. It's how we can be placed in a situation with little to no information and figure it out. There are no studies outside of reality TV that really explore this system. Why do some people just flourish? Like, drop them in the worst circumstances and given time, they'll create some sort of organized system of resources. They are wired differently. We are all wired differently. Damo taught the monks martial arts because the lust for this type of light will always attract demons. Gods are not usually good savages either. The savage is cunning too. The savage recognizes that he can't blink. He can't even learn how to blink. He can, however, threaten you, pressure you, blackmail you, hold something you need or love hostage. The true savage has no problem attaching himself to or bleeding you dry, then discarding you once they have thoroughly mimicked or been credited for your intellectual property. You cannot always avoid people like this. You must play fool to catch the wise sometime. In some instances, you have to gracefully bow out. Let someone else win. Let someone else steal from you. Just get out the way. How you separate yourself, though, please be careful. Savages may not know their dependence on you. They will find out, though, when you separate from them, things become clear quickly. You will still be you, though. They will not still be you. You will still be you. They will not still be you. When the tether is broken, the you in them will fade over time and they will be stuck being themselves. Comfort yourself knowing that you are the resource. You are one of God's speakers. If you are truly one of God's speakers, you are hardwired to the source. These people are cursed, true vampires, demons. If they feel like they can only win by stealing your style, your essence, and then by hiding you, or worse, getting rid of you, they are cursed. You see, a smart vampire will know they have to keep you alive, keep you around. Once they start gaining notoriety for your IP, they can't survive without you. Their existence is based on siphoning your light. You have to walk a tightrope. These people are extremely dangerous and unpredictable. They may kill you if they feel you trying to leave them. But be careful, because living like this will make you want to kill yourself. You can be led to believe that your only way to punish the world is to remove yourself from it. Remove your light. This mirror neuron system is dangerous. Okay, hold on. We got to get to the... Okay, all right, it's coming up. We can get into dangerous relationships like this. You can be born into relationships like this. You reading this may be a god. You may be a savage. You may be immortal. This knowledge, though, hopefully will stop you from killing or being killed. Take this serious. Dysfunctional mirror neurons kill. Mu waves are the standing waves of mirror neurons. Mu waves are present when mirror neurons are at rest. When mirror neurons are active, mu waves disappear. Mu waves are thought to be indicative of an infant's developing ability to imitate. This is important because the ability to imitate plays a vital role in the development of motor skills, tool use, and understanding causal information through social interaction. In a typically developing individual, the mirror neuron system responds when they either watch someone perform a task or perform a task themselves. In individuals with autism, mirror neurons become active and consequently mu waves are suppressed only when the individual performs the task themselves. They do not see themselves in others. The ability to see yourself in others is crucial to learning, to value in life, friends, and family. You may not understand this, but you will. This is the source of love. Many doctors around the world are having great success with oxytocin and vasopressin. Why? Those are love and bonding chemicals. They are healing autism with love. Keep in mind, I am not saying that parents are not loving their babies. There are no indications that autistic children are not loved enough. My sister is a great mother, and both of her children are autistic. She is a genius, though, and of course, Black. Yep, autism is another one of those Black diseases. Autism is about the child not being able to love others. They are like Spock. All logic, no emotion. Being incapable of seeing others, empathizing with others, loving others is dangerous. If you don't understand the value of others, you can easily be a serial killer. The world is filled with talented Mr. Ripleys that will kill for the perception of authenticity or originality. They want to feel love so bad, they don't care if the love isn't genuine. Love is corrupt in this day and time. Brotherly love and sisterly is so rare that people can be manipulated to think that they are gay. They don't know it's natural to love your brother or sister, but that doesn't mean you need to have sex with them. Recognize the devil is against love and will manipulate you through love. Love is the ultimate currency amongst people, not money. We all need more love, self love, love for our friends and family, love for life in every form you find it. Protect your neck. God is music. In the back of this book, I want you to write down what you learn chapter by chapter, specifically potential causes of autism and then potential weapons to combat autism. Mu waves mirror neurons and autism. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. The breath of life has been identified by Dr. EnQi. It is the Schumann resonance. The behavior of the sun creates the lightning patterns on Earth. The lightning patterns on Earth create the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance then creates what? Your heart waves and brain waves. It's not a coincidence that the frequencies align. It's not a coincidence that the heart produces chemicals that flow through the aorta into the womb to guide and attract sperm. I think autism research needs to start with semen, with the fertility process prior to conception. Oh, wait, we don't have one. We just make unplanned babies. The very few who do plan babies don't start with study. Did you read the Let There Be Music book? Did you read the Fibroids book? Did you know eating foods rich in complex carbohydrates, omega-3 fatty acids, B6, and zinc can help raise your levels of oxytocin? Seriously. Oxytocin is a peptide hormone with a high affinity to both zinc and copper ions compared to other metals. Does processed meat inhibit zinc and copper or melanin? Is it a coincidence that copper and zinc make melanin? Is it a coincidence that copper and zinc make brass? What about the abnormalities in the entorhinal cortex? Post-mortem studies conducted on autistic brains help to identify the neuroanatomical changes associated with autistic ASD, with autism. Smaller cell size and increased density of cells in the hippocampus, limbic system, and entorhinal cortex and the amygdala have been observed in all ages of autistic individuals. Hold on. It's popular knowledge that the hippocampus is part of your brain responsible for memory and learning. It's popular knowledge that the amygdala is part of the limbic system responsible for emotion. But you never heard of the entorhinal cortex. Nobody told you the entorhinal cortex connects you to the spectrum. The FM radio waves you are constantly picking up and transmitting run through the entorhinal cortex. Your connection to the waveguide is where your ultimate sense of time, space, and self is. Wait. Your connection to the waveguide is where your ultimate sense of time, space, and self is what this unsung hero is responsible for. This is where the research needs to be focused. If we look at the amygdala and the hippocampus and ask ourselves, what do they have in common? Pyramid neurons. Yes, pyramid neurons is a real thing. These pyramid neurons are the main sites for oxytocin activity. Y'all are wild in the chat. All right, so obviously, you know, we got to come in with the research. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been talking crazy for about 15, 20 pages, and we ain't validated nothing. We ain't backed nothing up, right? So here we have some journal work so people can validate some of what we're talking about in terms of the differences in between autistic brains and what we call normal brains, right? What we call autistic and what we call normal, right? Here's a study on the effects of oxytocin in the entorhinal cortex and the hippocampus, right? Okay. Y'all be thinking I be bugging out. I told y'all I think we need to extend autism research to the baby making process. Did you know estrogen increases uterine sensitivity to oxytocin progressively during pregnancy? Do you see how I have been wired to think? Ask the right question and then boom. Here you go. Fetal estrogens and autism, right? They have actually already been doing these studies and getting crazy, insane results. Crazy, insane results. So now what is it saying? There is some portion of autism that with planning, we could cut down. All right, we could cut down. What are you talking about? If we started to plan these babies, right? As of right now, there is no treatments, there's no surgeries, there's no medicines for autism. Autism is a 100% parents figure it out kind of situation. Parents got to figure it out. Period. So one of the things I wanted to do with the book is put all the info in one place. So for parents trying to figure it out, right? They got a book they can grab and cut through maybe, years worth of time and money wasting and get right to what's working, right? What's working? Well, you got people over here, they've done the oxytocin tests, and 40% of the children 30 to 40%, somewhere in that number, 30 to 40% of the children that they put on oxytocin, the autism symptoms went away and their brains was normalizing under the oxytocin treatments, right? Then of the 60 to 70% of the children that didn't respond, right, they have tried vasopressin and they've got the same results. So some children, the oxytocin works on, some children, the vasopressin works on, right? Some people, they're not going to have money for vasopressin and oxytocin, like that kind of stuff, because you got to pay for it. That's the part with not having something approved as a treatment, right? So not only are you in the dark as a parent on how to deal with this problem, but because there's nothing that's approved as a treatment, anything that you do, you got to come out of the pocket for. Yeah, you got to cash out. It's not like your card with most insurances is not going to cover what they consider to be experimental. That's on you. You got to do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to pull that bread out. And most people can't afford those things. So there's a wide range of, I'm not going to say do it yourself, because you can't do it yourself with oxytocin stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if we planned the pregnancy in advance. And we knew, okay, well, we want to make sure we have hormone balance, and we want to make sure we have this and that. And, you know, this might throw off the hormone balance. So we want to make sure this is not a problem and that's not a problem. And we clean up the womb. Respectfully, don't get mad with me, ladies, but most women spend more time and more focus on making sure they got a clean kitchen and a clean bathroom than a clean womb. And when I say clean womb, I don't mean clean vagina, right? I don't mean STDs, right? I'm talking about behind the vagina. I'm talking about the holy of holies, the room that you don't let nobody get into, the back room, right? Anybody could get into the vagina. Respectfully, not anybody, but anybody you have sex with, they get to the vagina. But only, you know, whoever you're trying to make babies with get into the back room. All the way in the back room. Right? And for the most part, respectfully, a lot of our sisters are not taught from their mothers because women don't really learn it. You know, there's not a place to learn conditioning the womb. You know what I'm saying? Like when I had my first 5, before this group of children, right? When Tony was little and them, I used to have them watching like Jewel Pookrum and Queen Afua, and you know, I used to put them on, like, watch this. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to teach you how to be a lady. I'm like, yeah, listen to Jewel Pookrum. Listen to Queen Afua. You know what I'm saying? Then I went and grabbed Queen Afua's books. After I started reading through them books, I was like, oh my goodness. Some of that stuff, you know, I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? But still, for the most part, it was beneficial. It was highly beneficial. Even though I disagree with a lot of stuff they're saying, especially in hindsight now. But in the absence of having nothing, you know what I'm saying, them sisters was putting in the work to put something together for the sisters. And in that regard, they did an excellent job. You know what I'm saying? They probably helped out countless numbers of women, you know what I'm saying, to at least get conscious of the fact that, hey, the next generation is up in here. You know what I'm saying? We want to try to make sure that we take care of this thing. And, you know, this is beyond like Kegeling and Lucid doing all that. Like that's sex exercises. This is, because I know sisters say, oh yeah, I got the egg and the whoop 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 and the yoni, this and that. No, all that stuff is sex stuff. The womb is what I'm talking about. The womb. You know what I'm saying? So planning out babies is like the most important thing that we could do to prevent. Right? Now, can you prevent all? No, you can't. That's not. But can you prevent some? Sure. You go through all these studies and you go, deficiency, excess, deficiency, excess. If you start looking at all the deficiencies and all of the excesses associated with giving birth to children with autism, there is definitely some risk that you can eliminate with planning. And planning means, okay, listen, we want to have a baby. All right, so listen, we're getting ready to stop eating crazy, right? We're going to stop the smoking, the drinking, whatever else y'all got going on in y'all lives, right? I never went past smoking and drinking, right? So I never was into no powders and pills and syrups and, you know, there's a whole new catalog of stuff to get involved with on the party scene now. You know what I'm saying? My little brother just died because of this new party scene. You know what I'm saying? So luckily, we were snuggled in We were snuggled in. God snuggled us in. We were snuggled in to a time period where we didn't have problems. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't have, not that we didn't have problems, but the drug of choice for my group when we was teenagers was alcohol and weed. You know what I'm saying? So we still had stuff going on because they loaded us up with malt liquor. And malt liquor is like, you might as well be drinking heroin. You know what I'm saying? But luckily, you know, like back in the 60s and 70s was dope. Then, you know, the 70s going into the 80s, they was doing freebasing. Then that turned into crack. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it got so crazy with crack, it just needed a reset. And my generation was in the reset. We just smoked weed and we had some beer and some liquor, and you know, that was it. You might have picked up some cigarettes or something, but that was it. Now they done went back. Pills, new forms of dope, new forms of heroin. So it's kids that's heroin addicts don't even know they heroin addicts because they listening to rappers that's on lean and these things, and they don't know that that's heroin. You are on opioids, champ. And opioids is the one drug you cannot just put down. You can't just put it down. Period. Once it's got a hold of you, it's got a hold to you. So you can't just put that down. You know what I'm saying? No, this ain't the same live from this morning. No, I had to stop, wrestle with the children and whoop, 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 and, you know, then come back on. But no, we didn't get to the autism book earlier, so I came back live to do the autism book. Oh, that K2. Or maybe that's something I never heard of. Kratom? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Right. See, you somewhere around my age group. That's what we had. We had Reggie and Henny. We didn't even have strong. There wasn't even strong weeds was out back then. It was chocolate and skunk, and that was super expensive. You know what I'm saying? But so other than that, we had weed with seeds in it. It was still we still had actual weed. The weed had seeds in it, just like God said in Genesis. The herbs and the fruits and the vegetables with the seeds in it. It was reefer. It was still reefer was available. That's what we had, reefer. We didn't, it didn't get crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was just reefer. Yeah, just reefer. And that's why it was nicknamed reefer, because once you got high with reefer, then you start to refer. You got high on reefer and then started to refer. You was like, yo, let me tell you about. And you start thinking and you start, you start getting deep. Or at least you thought you was getting deep, right? Bro, I'm getting up there. I'm almost 50. I'm almost 50. 5 decades. I've seen a lot. Plus, I was never an inside the house guy. I was always in the street. So, my 50 is somebody else's 100. My 50 is somebody else's 100. You know what I'm saying? But no, my children tell me that all the time. They're like, Dad, you sound like you 1,000 years old. I'm like, yo, I was lucky enough to live 1,000 years worth of life in my short time. You know what I'm saying? In my short time, I've been everywhere. Because I be telling them stories. I'd be like, listen, back when I used to work on the moving truck, back when I used to be in the neighborhood, back when I used to work on Wall Street, back when I was a messenger, back when I was, they like, hold up, Dad, you was doing security, you was doing, how many jobs you had? I was like, how, you know, I started early. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't, that's another thing. A lot of people don't get to start living life today in their 20s or 30s. You know what I'm saying? I had my own apartment at 13 years old. I was on my own. Yeah, I was on my own as a little kid. So I was outside for a long time. I was outside for a long time. Okay, I don't want anybody to start telling too much on themselves. Yeah, because we might get crazy. But point being, we need to start planning out pregnancies. We need to strategize and plan out. Listen, babe, let's have a baby. Let's have some kids. So let's stay off the party scene. Right? Whatever the party scene is, let's stay off the party scene. Let's get in the house. Let's get with these smoothies. Let's get with these vegetables. Let's get with these saunas. And you know, they used to do sweats. I don't know if they do sweats anymore, but now you can go to the sauna, you know, hot sauna, wet sauna. Let's clean out the pores, clean out the lymphatic system. Let's get this water drinking up. Let's cut out the soda. Like let's get that together. Let's fertilize that soil you got. Right? Because that's what that is. The man comes with the seed. The woman has the soil. At the same time as we working on cleaning her soil, brothers, you got to make sure that that seed is together. You got to make sure that seed is together. But honestly, in this regard, the reason why I'm spending more time, as I know there's going to be some women that's going to be like, man, I ain't want to hear this. Why he ain't talking about what the men need to be doing? I'm going to tell you why. Because in this regard, the soil is more important than the seed. The soil is much more important than the seed. So women, you got a lot more work to do. And listen, that's not on me. That's in the Bible. You got to figure that out. But in real life, that's really how it goes. Right? That's really how it goes, because you are the soil. Right? Here's the thing with a man. Right? Here's the thing with a man. A man roughly should have about 50 million. I don't know, it's reduced over time, but say for instance, a man on average releases his sperm and maybe he has 20 million sperm, right? If he's smoking, drinking, wilding, eating crazy, not living right, guess what? All of those sperms that's primarily affected, they're not going to swim. So all of those unhealthy sperms, they're not even going to make it to the egg. They're not even going to get there. So his vices, you know, like only his best sperm is going to even make it to the egg. Period. Right? But because you are the egg, all of your vices are going to be present. All of your vices, all of your sins is going to be there for the conception, carrying the baby, and then the first few years after you have the baby. Unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? So it just works out that way. That's just the way it is. You got to take that up with God. That ain't, I'm just telling you how it goes. So in that regard, a man almost filters his own semen, because if he's living too foul, he's going to be shooting dog water. That's what we used to call that back in the days. You got dog water. You shooting blanks. You might be familiar with that. You shooting blanks. That's how it's going to go. If he's not taking care of himself, he's going to shoot blanks. So he's not even going to be able to fertilize the egg if he's not, if he's too unrighteous. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a scale. There's the quality of genetics that his parents gave him versus how well he's been taking care of himself. So some men can live terribly and still produce healthy babies because the material they got from their parents was just that strong that it's going to override the toxin, the poison, and whatever, right? So there's some degree of, ratio between the genetic stock versus quality of life. But typically, them sperm is not going to even, them sperm is going to be the ones that die on the way. They not going to make it. If them sperm ain't strong enough, they're not going to make it. And if he's living too foul, no sperm will make it. You know what I'm saying? But you, on the other hand, you the soil. So we got to make sure that soil is fertilized properly and is not just ready to conceive, but also to grow a nice sprout. To grow a nice sprout after that baby comes out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because the work still ain't done. The work still ain't done. Even though you carry that baby for 9 months and it's tough sometimes, the work still ain't done. You still got to let them bite you. You still got to breastfeed at least 12 months, 18 months. You know what I'm saying? And that's not all. That's one of those situations. The breastfeeding is where you give in order to receive. You give in order to receive, because the longer you breastfeeding has a effect on your womb healing. So the longer you breastfeed, the better your vagina will go back to scratch, like go back to heal up, like it was like you never had a baby out of it. If you don't breastfeed, though, you don't really get that reset, because breastfeeding is a part of pregnancy. Pregnancy does not stop at having a baby. So I know it sounds like you just focused on the ladies, but it's because ladies need more focus, right? But if you do it as a couple, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? If you do it as a couple, it's not that big of a deal. Now, fellas, I will say this. The mother has a cheat code, right? She not having to do all this extra work without payment. The mother gets payment. The mother does get a payment for this work that she puts in. The entire time that the baby is in the mother's stomach, the baby is listening to the mother's voice. And more importantly than the mother's voice, the mother's heartbeat. That heartbeat is helping that baby's cells come together. So you have to make it your business for that baby to hear your voice. You got to make it your business for your pheromones to be around that baby. You got to make it your business to snuggle up with that lady so the baby could listen to your heartbeat. Right? So there's a payoff, though. She carrying the baby, she got to do more work, but she gets spiritual dividends because that baby is listening to her heartbeat. And that's not what you want, fellas. Let me just let you know that right now. You do not want that baby to just be programmed on mommy's heartbeat. You got to get in there. You got to get in there. It's like watching battle rap. And you looking at your favorite battle rapper and he's getting washed. You like, yo, fight back. Fight back. Get in there. Right? People was watching the Mike Tyson fight. They was yelling, get Mike. Fight back, Mike. Get in there. It's the same with making babies. It's the same with making babies. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get around that baby, and you need that baby to hear your heartbeat. Period. Like, there is literally not enough information on the heartbeat. There's not enough information available. We got a bunch of books on the heart, and we're doing what we can, but there's a lot that. So here's the thing, and you got to be able to extrapolate information out of the information. Like, so for instance, we was all told growing up that the heart pumps the blood. Most people, they still learn, that's all they know. The heart pumps the blood. The heart pumps the blood, right? Anybody that knows science knows that it is not possible for the heart to pump blood 60,000 miles through a straw. That's not possible. And defying gravity, like that's that's not possible. That's just not possible, right? So of course, we got the studies where we show that the heart is magnetic, right? Not only is the heart magnetic, but the blood is magnetic, right? Oxygenated blood is diamagnetic, and when the blood, is less oxygenated, because it's never really fully deoxygenated, but when it's less oxygenated, it becomes paramagnetic, right? So it's magnetism. It's magnetism that's pumping the blood. It's magnetism that's pulling the blood back to the heart, right? So when you learn that the pumping is not really what's moving the blood, right? You have to ask yourself then, well, what is it that the pumping is doing? Because we know the pumping is crucially important to all of the systems, right? So if it's not crucially important because it's pumping the blood, what is it crucially important for? And it's low-hanging fruit, because it's a heartbeat. And what does a beat do? Right? What is a beat? That's why we need the definition on a beat. Right? We got to get definitions. Sometimes stuff be low-hanging fruit. Right? But basically a beat is when you synchronize different frequencies, different sounds of different wavelengths and all that, bringing them together and synchronizing it, right? So when you realize that you got trillions of cells in your body, and all of those different cells is, 100,000 chemical reactions a second, blah, 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 you have to have something that synchronizes all of those things, because they all have to happen together. Everything has to work together. Everything has to work together. You know what I'm saying? All of the cells in your body have to work together. Your liver's got to be doing its thing while the kidney's doing its thing, while the spleen's doing its thing, the brain and this and that, and the lymphatic system, and all of these systems with all of these different moving parts, they all have to be synchronized together so that they're moving in conjunction. Everybody's working with one another. That's what the main job of the heart is. That's what the main job of the heart is. The heart is a programmer. The heart's the conductor. So you do not, fellas, I repeat, you do not want your baby developing just listening to mommy's heartbeat. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Hopefully you chose well. You know what I'm saying? We don't always. Ladies don't always choose well either. But I'm saying we got to try to choose as best as we can, right? So you want to get in there, though. Even if it's at night, you out working, whatever the case may be, at night, snuggle up. Y'all don't live together. Hey, Get there on the weekend, something, but get you some time where that baby is listening to the sound of your voice. You reading books to the baby, sleeping with mom, cuddling with mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there is beauty and there is benefits to being married and making children. Typically, the things that go along with marriage makes it a better nest for a child, right? Out of my 10, I don't know how many of mine was in wedlock, but I had drama. Drama. Right? All right, so let me see. Let's get into some more info. Because I'm ready to start trouble. I don't know if y'all know, but I'm doing like the, you know what I'm saying? I got my Mr. Rogers sweater on, my button down. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get my hoodie back on and get to the whiteboard and start, you know, acting a fool. Yeah. And it's just about act the fool time. Listen, it's just about act the fool time. So we're going to go through a little bit more of this. Oh, no. Yes. Yes. You know, this is well behaved. You know, we're talking about the family and making babies and, you know, planning babies. Listen, I want to have, you notice I got a lot of children around a certain time. So I did try to plan a lot of my babies. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, but I tried to plan a lot of them. So if you notice, like from the spring to the summer is my season. That's my season. I tried to be as close to in tune with nature with my babies. You know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to plant at the end of the summer into the fall is when you planting seeds. So that way you could harvest late spring, early summer. So I tried to follow along with that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, well, hold up now. Hold up. I think it's some science to this. You know, this is what nature do. Nature, you know, you plant the seeds in the late summer, early fall, and you be ready to harvest. You know what I'm saying? You be ready to harvest late spring, early summer. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, this is how we supposed to do it. An optimal state of consciousness. Best, and we perform our best. I don't know if I could see the whole thing in your icon, but that's dope. That's dope. I like that. You fool. Listen, garlic is not first of all, garlic is not the only thing that grows at that time. That's number one. And number two, garlic is good. Garlic is good. Yeah, I was targeting me. Now, I'm not saying y'all target the same target, but I'm saying I follow. That's how my parents did it. I'm a Cancer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm following, you know, I'm when you're making babies, you duplicating you. You duplicating your queen, you know what I'm saying? Or you duplicating you and your king. You know what I'm saying? So you need to follow that program with whatever your program is. Right? You know, you got 10 months. So I know you're like, wait, no, it's not. It's 9 months. That's not how you plan. 10 months. 10 months, it gets you closer to your target. I learned the hard way. So don't shoot for 9 months, shoot for 10 months, pun intended. Right? So say, for instance, you're a Capricorn, right? You got to put that thing away and you got to start shooting end of the winter, early spring. End of the winter, early spring, you might get you another Capricorn. That's your season, right? You're Capricorn and you want to have you some little goats, right? If you a goat, you want to have you some little goats. End of the winter, early spring, that's your window. You know what I'm saying? You want to start planting the seed. That's when you want to start planting seeds. So you want to start cultivating the soil that summer, right? I'm using Capricorn, for example, because we going into December, right? But you want to start cultivating that summer, right? So all summer, all fall, y'all eating y'all best. And not only eating y'all best, but you want to make sure that you like not watching no bloody movies and keeping as much as possible away from violence and stress and all of that kind of stuff. I don't care what she like. You might have a girl that, you know, she's into them type of movies and all that. And look, babe, you got to get them movies up for a minute. We're not trying to make a serial killer. So you're not getting ready to keep on watching, you know, like that's not what we're doing. Okay. So I need you to relax. Okay. We need you to watch some loving, or just forget about watching. I need you to meditate. Just meditate and stretch and read. And you know, I need you to get back. Let's get you with God. Let's get you with God somewhere. Let's get you with some Bibles, some hieroglyphics or some Arabic or something. Let's get you with somebody, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad. You know, we're going to get you somewhere spiritually inclined, whatever you're passionate about, because you don't want to push and pull. Whatever direction starts to moving her closer to God, that's a good time as you get ready to plan the baby to start doing it then. You know what I'm saying? And just go through that couple of seasons, at least 2 seasons, summer, you know what I'm saying? Fall, winter, boom. By the time the end of February hit or mid-February, she'll be ready. She'll be ready. You'll be ready. You know what I'm saying? And then bam, you're probably going to get her pregnant on the first shot. First shot, you're going to probably get her pregnant. And you'll have a nice little Capricorn. Woo. Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3, easy. See? And sometimes we do it without even trying to. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just how it go. It just be lined up like that. That's how it goes. Sometimes it just be lined up like that, because that's the time when we want to be, you know, everybody times is different, but whatever your time is, that's the time that you want to be reproducing. You know what I'm saying? That's the time that you want to be tied up, locked down and all that. That's baby making time. We supposed to be out here doing that. Sometimes school, work, ambition, and all of those other things pull and push us into other directions. That's the other part to the genius thing with autism, right? People that have achieved high spaces in science and math and other demanding careers, right? Other demanding careers, people who have achieved a lot, you know, there's a lot they miss. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot they miss in their drive to be the best at what it is that they're doing. There's a lot they miss out on, you know. So all of those things contribute to the reason why people who are, you know, that achieve a lot of success in specific types of career paths seem to have a disproportionate number of children that's autistic, even though we would consider these people to be geniuses, right? And to be honest, a lot of geniuses are autistic already. A lot of the people that we would consider to be geniuses are autistic already. because autism has such a wide range. It has a super wide range. And to be honest, the smallest range of autism is the people that are not functional. The people that are functional are the most of the people that's autistic. So if you're one of those people that feels weird around like big crowds of people and all that, chances are you got some autistic stuff in you. You know what I'm saying? You got a little autism sprinkled in there somewhere, right? But that push to push you away from large crowds of people and all that chaos is would have put you in the house, would have put you in the library, would have put you at the gym. You know what I'm saying? They say Kobe was the man because Kobe was always in the gym. Yeah, because Kobe didn't want to socialize. So Kobe might have had him a little touch, right? Kobe might have had him a little touch. Yeah, LeBron's story different. That's why LeBron's game is different. Michael Jordan definitely had him a little touch. If I had to bet on whether Michael Jordan has some percentage of autism or Kobe has, I would definitely bet that they did, as opposed to LeBron. I don't think LeBron, because LeBron's whole program is socializing. LeBron grew up with a group and he stayed with the group, and his whole life has been socializing. So when we see him play basketball, his basketball is even socializing. The very thing that we complained about LeBron, especially early on in his career, was that he passed the ball too much. He shared too much. Big opportunities, big moments, he's passing it, sharing that opportunity with somebody else. Like, bro, there's an opportunity for you to be the hero. You're like, yeah, I'm already the hero. I'm giving my man a shot. Like, no, that's not what we're paying you $1 zillion for. We're not paying you $1 zillion for you to give homeboy. He's not even going to be here in 6 months. He on a 2-way contract. But, you know, Michael Jordan had that savage mindset. That's because his whole entire life, his whole entire socializing was through a basketball. He didn't know how to socialize outside of it. Outside of it, he experienced anxiety. So that's why, you know, he had gambling problems, alcohol problems, some drug, you know, he had some other stuff going on off the court. Same thing like Kobe. Soon as Kobe started hanging out, oh, rape charge, woo, woo, all right, back in the gym, get pick that ball up. Just don't you put that down. You stay over there with the basketball. Don't y'all let him out of y'all sight again. Yeah. So genius. Right? Genius. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people that are high functioning in the space are high functioning in the space because they were isolated and was able to just focus all their time on their passion. Right? But because they got a little sprinkle of autism. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's a lot of reasons that contribute to people having autism. But autism is a lot more popular and prevalent of a thing than we would, you know, and that's, like I said, when I was reading early on in the book, that's one of the biggest problems. It's such a wide range. It's such a wide range. So as we continue to go through the book, we get more focused into narrowing down the nutrition, narrowing down the issues. One of the biggest issues with autism is estrogen. One of the biggest issues with autism is estrogen. That's one of the biggest problems, right? And obviously, when you go through the book, you'll see the studies and the clinical, you know, all of that kind of stuff will be there. But one of the biggest issues is estrogen dominance, which is the link between the two books. So there's a point where I say, ask the person while reading the autism book, did they read the fibroids book? Because there's a link between the fibroids book and the autism book and estrogen dominance. Estrogen dominance plays a huge role in autism. So women that have out of control estrogen have a much higher proclivity to producing a child that's autistic. And it makes sense. if we know how the biochemistry work. It makes sense, right? Because estrogen is going to regulate your fat. Fat is going to literally become your baby's brain and nervous system. So if your fat metabolism and lipogenesis and all of that kind of stuff is not regulated the way it's supposed to be, it's almost like you can't even expect your child's brain and nervous system to develop the way it's supposed to be, because your child's brain and nervous system is totally dependent on the type of fat you have and how your body metabolizes fat and all of that kind of stuff. And that's based on estrogen. Estrogen is in charge of that whole fat program, right? So that's a key. And that's the ancient, incentive that a man has when looking at a woman's fat booty or fat thighs, right? The fat booty and the fat thighs, because typically equatorial women carry their fat in the lower part of their body, right? Polar haplotype women typically carry their fat in the upper part of their body, right? So big boobs, right? Big boobs, which is milk. Oh, yeah. So boobs are sexy. Butts and thighs are sexy, right? Typically, polar haplotype men attracted to breasts. Typically, equatorial men attracted to butts and thighs, right? Just typically. Now we've had a lot of mixing, and we live in a one world culture, and so everybody's mixing. So, it's all over the place. Then you got fake stuff, so you don't even know what's really going on. But there's a lot of white girls that naturally have fat booties and fat thighs. A lot of Black women that have naturally big breasts. So, the world is changing, right? I might have me a sprinkle. I might have me a a few sprinkles, right? But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I when I think about it, I think I might. You know what I'm saying? When I was writing the book, I thought a lot about myself. To be honest, you're asking, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if you half trolling, half asking out of curiosity, but I think so. When I was writing the book, I thought about a lot of my childhood, and I always preferred to be by myself. And that's one of the things, like, you prefer to be by yourself. I always preferred that. No matter what I was doing, I always preferred to do it alone. You know what I'm saying? That's why, I don't have no bullet wounds, no felonies. No matter what I was doing in life, I preferred to do it by myself. And then when I had my first couple of experiences with jobs, summer youth and messenger service, stuff like that, I didn't like working per hour. I liked working commission, because commission, I saw other people. It's like, hold on, I don't want this guy or that guy to influence my check. The harder I work, the more I want to be paid. If I need more money, I want to be able to work harder and get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. I was raised like a wolf. You know what I'm saying? I was raised like a wolf. All wolves have a touch of autism. You know what I'm saying? Sheeps don't have any autism. Sheeps like to be in numbers. They like to be in flocks. You know what I'm saying? But the wolves and the shepherds, the wolves and the shepherds, that's how the shepherd can recognize the wolf, and the wolf can recognize the shepherd. And both the wolf and the shepherd can recognize the sheep. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's prevalent throughout society though. At first it was called childhood schizophrenia, right? But you know, it was a rougher world. It was a rougher world. So now that, things are kind of, getting a little bit more dialed in, a lot more detail. Autism's got its own thing. And then as they studied autism, they found Asperger's, you know what I'm saying? And Asperger's is like there's still debates on whether Asperger's is its own separate thing. You know what I'm saying? But there's popular YouTubers that y'all know and watch that, anyway. So yeah, there's all different levels. You know what I'm saying? The more you learn about this stuff though, the more you'll be able to see it on people when you talk to them, and not just autism or this or that. You'll be able to see like alcoholism, drug stuff, like you'll be able to see a person. When you look at them and you talk to them, you'll be able to learn more about a person a lot more quickly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure that that'll influence your love life or your business life any kind of way, but you will learn more about people. It'll be harder for people to hide things from you. And the more difficult it is for people to hide things from you, the more difficult it'll be for people to socialize with you. It won't be as difficult for you to socialize with them, but it'll be more difficult for people to socialize with you because people like to wear a mask, layers of masks. People like to be able to lie and hide. Varying degrees, you know what I'm saying? Even when you fall in love with somebody, there's still varying degrees of how well you know that person, which is the reason why there's like 2 or 3 friends that never go anywhere, because those 2 or 3 friends know the person you're in a relationship with way better than you. You could have been with him or her for 10 years or 15 years. They got a friend from elementary school that ain't going nowhere. And that friend know them way better than you. Matter of fact, they probably been a friend for 2 or 3 of you. They'd have probably been around for 3, they'd have been around. So yeah, that's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? But the more you learn, the more fun life is. Yeah, the more you learn, the more fun life is. Listen, I'm going to be honest. If you have more than 20 of Dr. EnQi books, if you got more than 20 and 30 of my books, chances are right? So we got to get back into the info. I think we done went so far. Plus, I'm ready to explode by now. We did a live earlier. I don't know. What was that 5 hours? 3 hours? It's time to act the fool. It's time to start acting the fool. Oh, yeah. You touch. Yeah. It's all right, though. Because we are the leaders of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I love my chat. I love my audience. People like, yo, you should have way more videos. I'm like, too much people. I don't know them people. As if I know everybody that watches, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I know everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like most of the people here are kindred spirits. So I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like my audience. You know what I'm saying? We could definitely grow. We need, we need some help with the lights and, whatever. So we could use some growth. But I like the kindred spirits. I like feeling like when I don't go live in a few days, that I haven't seen family. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the family at? You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting ready to go into the phone booth. You know how Superman do it. This is Clark Kent right now. So I'm getting ready to run into the phone booth. And when I come back, it's going to be the Man of Steel. When I come back, I'm rather running the phone booth. And when I come back, it's gonna be the man of steel. It's gonna be up. It's gonna be trouble. That's all I'm saying.